Welcome to the AI Smart Labs, and it is time for the news. This week in AI news, we have a little bit to talk about Starbucks, Google, of course, Microsoft, some medical AI, and MIT labs, which is always a fun place with a lot of experiments going on. This week, Starbucks rolls out AI inventory. And if anybody's ever had worked for, been in a product business, you'll know how painful inventory can be. And if you don't have inventory right, you can run out of product for your customers, you can over purchase and then have cash tied up in inventory. And for a product company, that is the biggest thing that you need to pay attention to is getting the inventory right. And AI is so useful for this to optimize ordering and levels of inventory that you need. And so far, they are counting inventory up to 8 times more frequently. And of course, this helps keep items in stock and it frees staff from the backroom tasks. And this is always a big issue because I mean, back in the day when I worked at some retail stores when I was younger, they closed the stores down for inventory. And if you're my age, you probably remember those days when you'd close down for 24 to 48 hours just to do inventory. So this is really exciting. I personally like it because I've had so much experience in consumer products, including my first business was consumer products, and inventory and ordering is always an issue. So pay attention to this. If you have a product business, these tools are going to be available to you. Some of them already are. It's also relatively inexpensive to build these for yourself so that you can manage your inventory better. And so you'll have less things that are out of stock, faster replenishment, and happier customers. And that's what we want, happier customers that are going to come back and buy more and that they can count on us for having the items in stock all the time. And if you have multiple retail sites or restaurants, this is an excellent blueprint. If you read through what they're doing and go to your team and see how you could roll out something similar, there's smaller scale options available too. That's the great thing about AI and the tools we have now. It doesn't cost a lot, and compared to, what it would have been 5 years ago to create these kind of tools or to purchase and implement these kind of solutions. So definitely something to check out if you have products, is the AI inventory control. And university hospitals are deploying conversational AI voice agents. And this is in Cleveland. They have announced a partnership to roll out voice-based agents so that they can close the care gaps. And they're going to start with pharmacy support. And the pharmacy support will be trained on all the information that a pharmacist would be trained on. It's not going to have the EQ, but what we've seen so far in customer service, AI tends to have better EQ than humans do. So people are often happier with their experience interacting with AI than they are with humans. And AI can usually find solutions for people faster. So if you have a business and you're listening to this or watching this, pay attention and see where you can use AI to either support your human reps or where you could implement AI to take care of your customers. We've got one client who has AI doing those outreaches when people have inquiries, and the AI books something like 30 times more calls than the humans do. And the humans get burnt out. The AI doesn't get burnt out, and it can handle calls any time of day or night. Um, and we weren't expecting such great results. And we were pleasantly surprised, and our client was pleasantly surprised and not going back to having humans first. It's going to AI to book those meetings. So you could start with low risk areas in your business, customer service, and then, start to move once your AI is good and you trust it, start to move into some of those more sensitive areas. And I can tell you, I had a call yesterday with a particular phone provider, and I was on the phone for over an hour, and the person that I was on the phone with couldn't help me. And I know from building these AI agents that AI could have answered my questions that this human could not. And I had to talk to the manager in order to get my questions answered. And it was an extremely frustrating process. And it was an hour of a human's time that was wasted. Like my time was wasted, but also the representative's time was wasted because she couldn't give me the answers that I needed. So it was a mutually frustrating experience. And I think we can do better. With AI, we can do a lot better. Google Cloud Google Cloud's making a big push right now. We've seen that Google has released a lot more of their AI options. A lot of people are on AI or on Google Workspace. And so now they're starting to use Google Cloud for AI. And they have a whole tool set. If you haven't seen it already, it's really user friendly, even for not very technical people. Um, and big companies like Goldman Sachs are putting their workloads into Gemini models. And in this one, it's driving 32% year over year revenue. Um, and they had a 141% jump in operating profit because they have been using Google's AI cloud. And enterprises are making big moves to move these serious workloads to AI ready cloud stacks. These exist in Microsoft, AWS, and Google. There are others, but those are the big three. And they're showing how moving these operations over can save a lot of money and deliver more profit. And I know most of the people on here have smaller companies, and you can have these kind of results for yourself and maybe even a bigger increase in profit because you're more agile. It takes a heavy lift to get these big companies over, using these tools operationally. Um, so when you're choosing your platform, think about your infrastructure and the pricing model with it and what fits best with your business so that you and your team will use it consistently. So not necessarily just the fancy latest model, but you want to make sure that it's built into your systems and operations. If you're on Microsoft, go ahead and use Copilot and leverage Microsoft AI tools as much as possible until you hit their limits. If you're on Google, Gemini tools work great. If you already have some infrastructure in AWS, use that. Um, the difference in the models is not that big now, and you can also plug different AI models into those different clouds. So you can use different ChatGPT models. You can use Llama models if you're in Microsoft. They will integrate, but at least you'll have all of your data in one place already. So think about it operationally and how you can standardize what you're doing. Um, as far as like all of your data and how you can leverage it the most. And if you have any questions on that, please feel free, join in one of these sessions, join in one of our AI labs, and we can have conversations about this. Like, how can you best leverage the data that you have? How can you really build a robust operating system that leverages AI to make it more efficient? This is the stuff we talk about and we live and breathe every day in what we do, asking ourselves how we can have it take less of our time, give better customer experience, and make it easier. Make it easier on us, make it easier to serve our clients. So those, you should definitely be thinking about that, and please join in the conversation with us. This is a fun one to enhance customer service over at Ralph Lauren. They launched Ask Ralph, which is a conversational AI stylist. And it's good. It will get better. I can't wait till they have the try on where you actually put your body dimensions and everything in there and you can style it. But it's so cool. And this is something that's really easy to do. You can kind of do this in Google already. Um, but it's this case, it's designed to be like your in-store stylist that you get. Nordstrom's is big on, giving you a stylist if you want one, even for free as part of their business. And it can help the stores sell more and give you if you're in products, it helps your customers discover more items that you have in the store and what might be good for them. Because when you can sell a whole outfit, it's a lot better than selling one piece, and it's novel. So before everybody's doing it, if you can jump in there and do your conversational AI stylist, or recommendation engines or any of that, it's actually quite easy to do with AI. Again, something you can come back to labs and we can have a conversation about, um, because this is where things are moving. And Ralph Lauren is an early mover in this area. Um, and then Eli Lilly has unveiled Toon Lab, which is novel in pharma. They're sharing their AI drug discovery models with smaller biotechs. And what that means is the smaller biotech companies are going to be able to train on the Eli Lilly data. And ideally, this will lead to faster R&D for the smaller companies. To get a biotech company started and funded is really difficult. It's hard to monetize. It's hard to find investors for these things. And companies like Eli Lilly will want to purchase the new products once they're available, but the development of them it can take years. And with them offering the discovery data, this is going to help the younger biotechs shorten their time to market, and it'll be a lot less expensive. So, it's a nice thing to do for them, and it will also serve them long term. It should serve them long term. We'll see how it goes. Um, and if you think about this as applied to your industry or your business, who out there has data that you might be able to leverage for your clients, for your customers? There is a company that we've been talking to about getting their data set to train an AI model that we're working on for a project. And they're open to sharing the data with us because it can help lead more people back to them. And they have data sets that are huge that we just don't have access to without them. So it's a good strategic partnership. And it's not, you know, a lot of big businesses have a lot of data that they're not leveraging. So if you could have AI trained on some data that would help your customers, what does that look like? Where could you get the data? Where could you create some of these strategic partnerships? Something else to think about, as the models evolve, your ability to train models, you can do this in-house for next to nothing now. And there's a lot of data out there that's not being leveraged. Okay, and then this is a really cool one, from MIT, and MIT labs. They do a lot of cool experimental projects, with students there, and in this one, MIT researchers introduced Sustainaprint, which uses simulation and AI, to strengthen only the weakest zones of an object. So it's kind of virtual printing, and it makes things more eco-friendly and cuts waste, when 3D printing. And you can use this for prototyping or manufacturing. This will lower the cost of prototyping, and then ideally lower the cost of manufacturing, be more efficient with the materials. And then the idea is that it will make your products more eco-friendly. Um, and I don't know how many people here have, again, this is, I guess, product focus this time. We've got a lot of product items. But if you're building any sort of hardware, I have worked with 3D printers, like big print shops, to have prototypes made, and nobody has had this type of technology where there's an AI that actually advises on how to make it strong or weak, or how to reinforce those weak zones and how to get the most efficient prints. Usually you print and test and print and test and print and test. And with AI, it can help to model things so that you're not wasting time and materials in that process too. Um, and of course, I've played around with the 3D printers and testing models, and it's quite a process. So I think this would get you to your finished product easier and faster. There are other AI tools that plug into the 3D printers, so something to take a look at. And even for your home 3D printers, there's AI that helps you make the uh, the items that you want to print. So I would love to see if anybody has used these tools, the AI and 3D printer. I have not yet. So I'm really curious how it works out. And let us know. Please let us know if you're doing anything with AI and 3D prints. Okay, that is the news for the week. We will have, I mean, there is more news. There's a lot more news. We've got some really exciting updates from HeyGen and Opus, and we are going to feature those in the newsletter next week. We're going to play with the tools. We'll let you know what we think. And Gemini VEO3, which is their video tool, is now available in the majority of the world, as far as we know. And so if you have teams overseas, they can start using VEO3 within your Google workspace. And it's Google Gemini's video product. It shows up. Well, let me show you here. I'll show you where it shows up. If you go into your Google workspace, you have your little dots on the side. And look, I've got vids. Click and I can start creating videos. I have played with this tool. I've had access for about 3 months now, but Marikar on our team, she just got access to this. And so we've been seeing this roll out around the world, and it's been available inside of other products before it was native, but it's nice to have it native right inside of your Google workspace. We love the integration into our workspace anytime we can get it, because then it makes it easier for managing where we keep all of our assets and information and collaboration. So vids should be available to team members around the world now. Oh, and I'm going to share a little bit more in the news. Well, our internal news. We have another applied AI level 1 course. We revised the curriculum, and it is starting at the beginning of October. And the level 1 course is 10 weeks of everything that you need to know to get AI going in your company. We'll teach you how to do prompt engineering well, how to build agents and workflows, and we'll teach you how to do spreadsheets with AI. It is about doing the work in class every day. We'll show you how different tools produce different results, and different AI models produce different results, so that you can choose which ones you want for yourself and which ones you think would be best for your team for different functions. Um, it's a fun class for us to teach because it changes every time. AI changes so fast that every time we run an applied AI course, we have to update the content. So this is not old. This is brand new, current, up to date. We actually test everything the night before class so that we know how it's going to work the day of class. Anybody who's been using AI for the last few years, things change quickly. And from one day to the next, they can change. And then we're also running another round of our popular class, AI Your Ops. This is a 4-week class that, if you have a base knowledge of AI, we will help you build automations and agents. And by the end of class, you will have an agent or an automated workflow using AI and automation, um, that will do some work for you that you choose to work on during class. And we have technical help for that too. So you're actually implementing, you're getting the theory and the implementation of this in your business. And so if you have an inkling to start doing more AI and automation, please come to AI Your Ops. You don't have to be super technical to implement this. And you could be super technical, but maybe hit some roadblocks, and likely we can help clear those up for you in this class. And then our tools, worth taking a test drive, Talkadot. I know I've talked about this one before. I love Talkadot because when I do a talk, it can be online or in person. My last slide is always a Talkadot slide. And you scan the QR code, you can leave, the audience can leave feedback. And then we have integrated that with our CRM system. So if people need follow-up, then they can get automated follow-up, whether that's booking a meeting or just getting put into our email list. And then I have the ratings across all of my speaking engagements over the entire time. I've been using it for years. And when people ask about my ratings, I can send them the Talkadot results. And that's helpful for getting new gigs also. So I've got a Talkadot dashboard that shows what the feedback is and the scores that people give me on every speaking engagement. Fixer is my friend. Fixer has transformed my relationship with my inbox. I'm so thankful to have it in there. I have it in my personal inbox and in my business inbox, and it helps to organize everything. It drafts responses to what I might need to respond to. It flags the items to respond to, and it uses my voice in the responses. It even suggests times that I could meet based on my calendar because I have it integrated into my calendar. I love Fixer, and I've tried a lot of the other AI tools as they've come out over the last couple of years, and nothing even touches Fixer for how easy it is and what a big difference it makes for me. And I'm not paid by them. I don't have an affiliate. I just love Fixer a lot. So Fixer, if you want to sponsor me in some speaking engagements, I'm happy for that. Firefly, if you haven't played with this yet, Firefly is Adobe's free AI image generator. And Firefly is the most conservative image generator in the way that it watermarks all the items saying that they're created with AI. And it's Adobe. So the quality is good. You can pay for it and get vector files that you can edit in Photoshop or take into Illustrator. So it's professional quality AI tool, and you can use it for free to a certain extent, and get some beautiful images from it, but you can also use it more professionally and edit and take into their other Adobe tools. So we do like Firefly. We use a lot of different tools for images, and each one serves a purpose, but this one, it definitely meets all of the copyright standards and is the most conservative when it comes to images and what they're used for. So that is the news for the week. And today in our AI labs, we are going to be testing some. We're going to be testing some agents. We're going to be creating custom GPT, probably some custom gems, to see if it will do some of our marketing assets for us in a way that is better than Jasper. We've been using Jasper for almost 5 years now.